Welcome to today's broadcast. I'm reading from the book of Hebrews chapter 2, verse number 15 in the Passion Translation. Watch over each other to make sure that no one misses the revelation of God's grace. And make sure no one lives with a root of bitterness, sprouting within them, which will only cause trouble and poison the heart of many. So there are things that can poison and that can trouble grace upon somebody's life. So yesterday we saw number 2 enemy of grace, which is bitterness, resentment, anger, unforgiveness, glamour. Every of these things sometimes are justifiable. Why you shouldn't forgive the person? Why you should be angry with the person forever? They are justifiable, but they are poison to grace. And no one wants to live without the grace of God. You share the grace and waste the grace eventually. You collect the grace and throw away the grace. Everything you need to do for the grace of God to come upon your life, you're doing it. But everything you are not supposed to do to make the grace of God stay, you're doing it. So it's a life of waste. And that's why we started talking on how bitterness, root of bitterness, is a destroyer, is a killer. But there's something very important I'm going to be doing today, and that is talking on how to overcome bitterness. There are 4 signs of bitterness. Number 1 is anger. Anger becomes dangerous when you find your identity in people and purpose. And you are passionate. You are always angry. In fact, anger can become a pattern in your life when any little thing gets you irritated. And give or take, 2 people could be in the same place and the same thing is done. The other person will walk away and let go of it, while the other one is staying with it for 1 year, for 2 years. If you know how important your heart is, because the Bible says you should guard your heart with all diligence, you'll be careful how not to allow anyone stupidity to make you also stupid. Number 2 kind of bitterness is unforgiveness, where once somebody offends you, offense will surely come. We can't get to a stage on earth yet where people will stop offending you. So as far as they are not going to stop offending you, you should take a decision never to stop forgiving them. Then another sign of bitterness is hopelessness, where you are in a particular situation, things you are trusting God for has not come, you become hopeless and irritated and angry continuously. Because you are hopeless. You think you're not going to ever marry, you're not going to have children again, you're never going to build a house, you're always going to be poor, and because of that, you have this hopelessness is you that have become bitter experience. Number 4 sign of bitterness is gossip. Gossip is sharing either true or not true story of someone without the person there to defend himself. It's a gossip. Either you are hearing it or you are talking about it, is actually a sign of bitterness. People gossip people they are angry with or they are not happy with. They are center of gossip. How do you handle bitterness? Number 1, give God a heart. God said, I'm the owner of it. Give it to me. Give me that heart, that pain in your heart. Let me be the one to take care of the thing. Number 2, ask God to help you. It has gotten to an extent that when you find that you are constantly irritated, resented, your resentment is always in you, you need prayer. Instead of praying against witches and wizards, pray against bitterness. You will see the grace of God will begin to work for you. Number 3, write down what you'll be forgiven for. Begin to imagine what God has forgiven you for. That will easily make you know that you also can forgive. Number 4, pray for whosoever hurts you. That's what the book of Matthew chapter 5 said. We should pray for those who despisefully use us, those who hate us. And number 5, decide to forgive, which is the very important one. It's a decision. I know I'm letting go of this. No, I'm letting go. And then it's gone. So I'd like you to write it under here. Bitterness will never leave except you know what you are losing by being bitter. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.